So this ancient rishi is the father of all the Gautamas and Vamadeva and others. And he has the whole section in the first mandala. He dedicates one hymn to Usha, and you see Usha is first 15 verses and then the last 3 to Ashwins, because Ashwins are intrinsically connected to the dawn. It is through the Ashwins that we come to the dawn. It is by Ashwins that she arrives. So they are connected with the dawn, with the Divine Mother. So let's start with the first verse. First 3 are Jagati, 12-syllabic meter. Eta utya usha sahke tum akrata purve ardhe raja sobhanum anjate krinvan nishkrinvana ayudhaniva drishnavach pratigavo arushihyanti matarach. Eta utya ushasach ketum akrata. These are indeed those dawns who created the vision. Interestingly, the vision, consciousness, and sight, light are all connected in one particular word, ketu. Ketu is from root ki or chi, from here chit, chiketa. This interesting word has many kindred roots of consciousness. So to say, these were the dawns which created literally the perception. Purveardhera jasobhano manjate, in the first or in the eastern half of the space, they painted, or I put it here another word, painted with the light in the eastern half of space. Nishkrinvana ayudhaniva drishnavach, as if daring soldiers or fighters, they revealed the weaponry or the shining blades ready to fight. Pratigavo arushihyanti matarach. As the mothers, the golden beams of light are approaching, fronting us. Now, the mothers is used in a very interesting way. Pratigavach matarach. Interestingly, the Griffith translates it as the mother cows. One word, the mother cows. But these are the rays of light, the beams, golden, red, approaching, and then suddenly with matarach. So, my interpretation, these are those dawns who created the sight. They painted with light in the eastern half of space, revealing themselves, or opening up, revealing as the fighters draw the swords, the shining blades. Ayudhana. Ayudhana is this weaponry. It can be blades of the swords or the blades of these spears. Golden red, arushich gavach, the beams of light are approaching, yanti, prati, approaching, fronting us, prati, towards us. Towards us in the darkness they are fronting. We are part of the darkness and they are fronting us, coming to us. As the mothers, they are shaping all into visible forms. And here I kind of translate the mother and kind of spell out the meaning, shaping all into the visible forms. The word matri, mother, in the Veda still has its original significance, carries the memory of its root ma, to measure, to shape, to create form. to create form out of the formless, out of the indifferent one, create the difference. Sometimes this word is used in masculine gender also, as a creator. Mata can be also creator, not only the mother. It can be he, the creator. So it tells us that the word is still connected to the general, to the central meaning of the root ma, to shape, to create the form. The phrase bhanu manjate also is interesting, can be translated as they anoint the brightness, or they apply bright ointment in the eastern half of the space. The idea of the ointment is of brightness, smoothness, and also substance. It is thick, like an oil. You can imagine the oil is not just, gleaming something empty light. It is thick, substantial light. It has the weight of substance. It's interesting in that sense, this golden substance they apply in the so it has this sense of experience. It's a substantial light. I was thinking about this, applying oil like abhisheka for the kings and so on, why this applying oil is so important. In Indian tradition especially, it has some spiritual significance. If you think of it, what is that? Applying oil on the whole body and to be to be smooth and shining, and this imagery is used constantly, and the horses are dripping oil from their surface. What is this dripping oil? Being oily, so to say.
Could it also be ghee?
Yeah, it could be whatever you apply, dripping ghee or dripping oil, ointment, yes, whatever. But still, this applying oil, it's not only health, there is something else. There's some spiritual symbolism of this. Anyhow, I didn't arrive at any conclusive meaning about this, but it hangs at the back of the mind, waiting for its resolution. One day it will come that this ointment is important. Um,
I was just thinking because ghee is very spiritual also. You put it in the diyas, you consume it for health. Some people even put it in their eyes for clearer vision.
yeah, absolutely.
Used for so many, good things. So I was just thinking
Yes,
maybe.
absolutely, absolutely. I do not know about the whole ointment, but ghee, yes, ghee is that quality of the cow, so to say, extracted or purified, yes, the very quintessential carrier of the knowledge. If milk is the knowledge, then ghee is that quintessential part. It is heated up, it is converted into this oily substance which can never be spoiled. There is no admixture of water or anything. It is the clarity in the mind. It's a clear mind. And he has this golden, warm substance, and it's something like the light of mind, mind of light. Mind of light is that converted mind, our ordinary mind, which is already turned into some new quality. It reveals the quality of knowledge and delight and warmth. Something is about this. Even a dhyana state in the Yoga Sutras is compared with ghee state. It's like a ghee is like a ghritam, this clarified butter. It is thick, thick, oily, warm, bright, golden. It's full of quintessential knowledge. So the movement in a dhyana state is seamless or effortless, like ghee flowing. In that sense, it holds onto its own. You don't have to hold onto it with concentration, with the will to concentrate. It has its own qualities. Something of that kind. So the transformation of the mental substance into ghee substance, into clarified butter, where the knowledge is intrinsic in the mind. You don't have to acquire it. It's already there. The mind itself as a substance is a substance of that knowledge.
Vladimir, I was thinking the oil is a form of anointing the body,
Mm,
and just like in the lamp, when we pour the oil, it helps the lamp to burn brighter.
mm,
So, similarly, when the oil is applied in the body, it facilitates the smoothness, the beauty of the body, and maybe in a deeper sense, it facilitates the spiritual growth
mm,
because applying oil in the Indian tradition begins at birth with the baby. The
mm,
baby is massaged with oil every day, and so is the mother.
mm,
It is apart from healing, qualities. Uh, it is a great healing thing to the body, especially after childbirth and for the newborn. It anoints the body and helps the spirit to shine through. I
mm.
think that might be, I don't know.
Yes. Well, you are in India, you know these things. You are doing them always. So there's something, we do not do this in the West at all. Nobody applies any oil to the body from the childhood. But in India, this is a kind of a very normal state of bringing oil, putting oil. And actually, Ayurvedically, it is the abhyanga is the best thing to do for the body. It
And
seems.
especially on the soft spot of the baby,
Hmm.
on the top of the head, on the soft spot is where we put the oil, and in
Hmm.
the navel. So these are two portals to the spirit. So it is nourished with the oil.
But since you mentioned the soft this of the baby, and also this Shirasa Abhyanga,
Yes, yes.
why do they do this? It's amazing. What is this magical, pouring the oil onto forehead?
On the third eye.
Yeah.
That
And
is on the third eye.
what is this all about? Yes. And it seems it has this immense effect of relaxation and coming back to your senses where you have to
Yes.
be centered and so on. The oil has this magical kind of application for the soul, for the being, for our consciousness in the body. Mm. Yeah.
Oil is something to anoint as a carrot, as the substance that carries a certain spiritual power. It's used to anoint kings, to anoint priests.
Mhm.
It's used in various sacraments and so forth. What occurs to me is that just as the soma is the essence, like the sap of the plant, that oil is the essence of the seed. And so it's getting something of the seed, which is um, the longevity of the plant, the next generation, the moving forward. So
Mm.
I think there's something in there about because the oil, you squeeze a plant, you get the leaves, the branches, and so forth. You
Mm.
get soma, but you squeeze the seed is where you get the oil.
Interesting, very interesting. So it's more quintessential in a way, more essential, so to say, part of soma. The Here it is even from the milk, yes, made. So milk is the symbol of knowledge. And so if you arrive at this central part of knowledge, the delight of and the power which sustains and nourishes, this nourishment of the being, and by knowledge. Amazing. Yeah, these are all symbols which we have to dwell on to understand why this Bhanum, this light, is being anointed by the dawns. So it's kind of, yeah, I translate paint it with the light, but it's not true. It's painting the light, actually. Painting the light in the eastern half of the space. Painting the light over the top. Revealing the weaponry or the blades, shining blades, as if ready to confront the darkness, yes? And moving towards us here in the darkness. Forming the shapes, all visible forms, carving them, as it were, making them visible, making them manifest. Everything which was for us unmanifest becomes manifest by this movement of the dawn. We see more things, we see more. So it all grows into manifestation. These are the ideas of the dawn approaching. So number 2, Udapaptan. Udapaptan aruna bhana vovritha. So Svayujo arushir ga ayukshata. Swayuja arushir ga ayukshata. This is Jagati still 12 syllabic. Akran ushaso vayunani purvatha. Rushantam bhanum arushich. Ashishrayu. Suddenly the golden red beams light up. Beams, if the beams then light up. Suddenly the golden red beams flew up. They yoked and brought with them the red rays of growing light of knowledge. Maybe light of growing knowledge. Easy to yoke, to connect with, the dawns created the paths as from before. Dark red, at the beginning they become shining, diffusing the bright light. So there is this transition from the darker to the more bright light. And interesting, Ud-Apaptan, they rose, as it were, the Aruna Bahanabach. They rose the golden red beams, or shining layers of the dawn rose up one by one. They yoked Ayukshata, the cow's gach, the red rays, Arushich gach. Arushich, these red, while adding growing knowledge, the red rays of growing knowledge. Because that red knowledge becomes more and more bright and golden. So it is starting from the dark red and grows into the bright and brighter golden red. Those cows which are svayujach, suayujach, easy to yoke. Easy to yoke means easy to bring them with the dawn. So the dawns are coming and they're taking those rays of light, of knowledge, and bring them with them. So there is something interesting there. Why this separation that they take these cows and bring them with the dawns, as if the dawns are not the cows, yeah? As if they are the powers of the mother, so to say, which are taking all the lights of knowledge from those realms wherever they are approaching, and bringing them with their approaching, as if the dawns are coming from beyond, even from the transcendental. And once they are approaching through these spaces, they take those lights, those cows, they collect them, arushich, which are easy to yoke and to bring together, to connect with. For the dawns who are coming from the beyond, it is very easy to connect with all the levels of consciousness which are fronting us, closer to us. So taking them and bringing with them. Akran Ushasa Vayunani Purvatha. The dawns created the paths as from before, Purvatha. Dark red at the beginning, Rushich, they become shining, Rushantam Bhanum, Ashishrayuch, they're diffusing the bright light. Ashishrayuch, there's from root Shri, I didn't put here. They kind of starting to dwell in the shining Rushantam Bhanum. Arushi. It's all about light. Notice all these words, Aruna, Arushi, Rushantam, Ushasa, these are all about Ashishrayu, also about shining. So it's like for the person, and Bhanava also from Rudbha, to shine. So how many words do we have? We have Aruna, Bhanava, Arushich, Gach, also the ray of light. For Ushasach, it's from Vasrut, to shine. 5, Rushantam, another verb. 6, Bahanum repeating, Arushich repeating, Ashishrayuk, 7. 7 different words related to the light. Of course, it's difficult to translate it and to envision what is really going on. For the Rishi, it is quite clear. For us, it is just a puzzle.
Vladimir,
Yes.
why has Griffith used the words distinct perception where you have used the word created the paths? Where is he getting distinct perception from? The dawns have brought.
Yes, Vayuna. Vayuna can be translated in many ways. I should have really put Vayunani. You remember Agninaya Supatharaya Asman Vishwani Deva Vayunani Vidvan. This is the end of the Isha Upanishad. Vayuna is the path, and also all those paths, in a sense, like tracks which have to be, I do not know, he found distinct perception for this. I think because it's a very, very strange word. Let me see. Moving, active, alive, waving, agitating, restless, clear, pathway. Rule, order, distinctness, clearness, brightness. The mark, aim, knowledge, wisdom. What would you like to have?
Okay, thanks.
So we are dealing
He has a point. Yeah.
Yes, he chose what fits to him. Yes, or the clarity. And actually, it's not far away. The paths are actually the clarity of your perception of how you want to live, where you want to go, and is it not? So you see the path, you see the clear way to live. Yeah? That distinct perception of, as before, interestingly, that perception of the aim of life, most probably, or the straight sunlit path, which shows you where to go, why you are here, something of the kind. So if we start massaging these meanings, we will see that they're all working for the same idea, if we have the idea of what it is all about. But if not, of course, these, for the mind, they look like totally different translations. Right. So interesting word purvatha, as before. Akran ushasa vayunani purvatha. And this Vishwani Deva Vayunani Vidvan Agni. Agni knows all the Vayunas, all the movements or paths, all the clear directions by which we have to proceed and grow in consciousness. The whole, in the Veda, it's always the path, yes, the path which has to be seen. In other place, Usha comes and she reveals the sacrificial posts on the path. This is such a beautiful imagery. Sacrificial posts, here post, and then path goes another post where you have to do the sacrifice offering. Then there is another post. And so you see the path that from here you have to move here, and then from there, and so on. So you see the trajectory by which you have to proceed, and where you have to stop and do something drastically for your movement forward. You have to make some changes in your attitude. And that is the sacrificial post, where you come to that and then you have to make something, some difference. So you cannot proceed with the same attitude as before. So you will have to adjust your attitude to move forward. And these are the posts on the way. So she reveals the path with those posts, so you can see them and you know how to proceed and where to go and what to do next. It's something like on the height he stood that looked upon greater heights. Yes. Something of the kind. Yeah. So he stood on the height and he sees greater heights where he has to arrive at. He already sees them, but they're far away. This word purvatra, as before, interesting, most probably that is how the dawn works, the grace. She always reveals to us the same aim of our life, where we are to proceed and how to proceed is Vayuna. Yes, you will see the path. But as before, tells us that she always does this. She shows us the path from the beginning, always. That is her major action, to reveal the path. Archanti narich apasona vishtibhich samanena yojanena paravatach samanena yojanena paravatach isham vahanti sukrite sudanave vishved aha yajamanaya sunvate. The ladies shine by singing as if running waters playing in the sun. I'm adding because I can't understand. With the common link from the beyond. The common link from the beyond. They bring the refreshing impulse and indeed all the other gifts to man who is a perfect doer, who gives himself to light, to Yajamana, who presses out Soma. Yes. Archanti, this is an interesting word. From here, it is a rich word, yeah, Rigveda. Archanti means speaking the hymn, or singing the hymn, and at the same time shining with the word, shining with or let us say, with the light and the voice, yes. These ladies, Nari, apasona vishtibhi, as if they running waters. Samanena yojanena paravatah, with one yojana, with same connection to the beyond. Isham vahanti, bringing the impulsion which is nourishing, sukrite, to the one who perfectly doing the sacrifice, sudanave, who perfectly gives himself to the light or to the divine. Vishwa Id, and many more other things. And all other gifts I am adding, yes. Not only Isham, but Vishwa Id, and indeed other gifts and other many, all other gifts. Aha Yajamanaya Sunvate. The word aha is particle, surely, certainly, I didn't put it here. Indeed, or certainly to the Yajamana, to the soul which is doing here the sacrifice, who is pressing out Soma for the oblation to the gods, to sustain the flame growing. So they're singing here with the flaming hymns, the ladies, like running waters. This can be translated most probably differently. How he translates. They sing their song like women active in their tasks. He translates apasach not like waters, but like the active ones, and vishtibhi in their tasks, which is nobody knows what it is. A dictionary gives changing alternatively by turns.
Vladimir,
Mm,
can I say something?
yes.
I think what Griffith is implying, I don't know, I may be wrong, is the women who, as they perform their tasks, they sing together. You know, that's a very common mundane image that we see in the world, in the rice fields or threshing the corn. Women sing together. They have songs that they all join in, like chants, and they sing to show the delight that they feel in the work. That is one. And the second is that this is referring to consciousness. You know, it is the light of consciousness that is playing and singing with the light as it goes about its task.
This is a good suggestion, yes, that women are singing together, Nari. Interestingly, Nari here the dawns, yes. So from root Nri again. Nri is this heroic power which interferes with the darkness coming here to make the change. Nri, Nara. Nara is the heroic soul of man, or power of the soul of man who dared the darkness, or the gods who are ready to interfere and come down to the sacrifice. So here they are in the female, Nari, Archanti, Apasana Vishtibhi. Most probably he is closer, and it's not running waters. It's not waters at all. I do not know. I will have to change it, most probably. I have to still think about this phrase.
Vladimir, I've been reading this Mind of the Light last 2 days, in Sri Aurobindo, and this, what is coming up for me is knowledge and action, the flow. Like in the earlier one, also the path and the perception. Like when seeing and doing, there is no difference. It's just flowing. When the light of consciousness is so high, maybe at the supermind level.
Yeah, the mind of light is, as I understood it, is something what the descending kind of light of the supermind changes our ordinary mind. Yeah? And our ordinary mind becomes luminous. It is not the supramental mind. Yeah? It is our mind changed by the supramental touch, which makes it very different in quality, which can sustain supramental kind of action. Yes, can sustain now easily, without losing it, without passing it to to the darkness and disappearing. It is not. It is holding already the ground. And Sri Aurobindo says that this would be the next stage in evolution, absolutely necessary. There will be a shift, that the man will become, so to say, overman. There is the whole overman foundation. By the way, Georges van Brecken was very preoccupied with this. It was his final discovery of his life. And we discussed this when he was still alive quite often. We were very close friends. And always he spoke about this, that the next stage in evolution will be not the Superman, but Overman. There will be the shift, the transition from the ordinary mentality to the overmind mentality. And that will create this mind of light, which is the next stage. Once we have that mind of light, we can manage the vital, because vital cannot be managed by the ordinary mind. Mind is too weak for this. It is always deceived by the vital. Vital is stronger. It can take by one, wave, as Arjuna says to Krishna, but how can you hold that mind? This wind of prana is so strong, so it will blow it away anytime. He says, no, you can do it with abhyasa. So Sri Aurobindo says not abhyasa, but there will be a transformed substance of mind, which he calls the mind of light. It's an important part of knowledge which we have to understand, because usually we blame the mind all the time and say that, oh, it's too mental or something. Yes, mind has this strange thing to block away, to make it black and white, but to widen the scope of mental perception, what Veda does for us, or Sri Aurobindo, and to make it more luminous, is the way to go forward. It's not something we should avoid doing. Many people say, oh, it's not needed. You have to only, feel. Feeling, the vital is so strong there that feeling will disappear very, very quickly. It will be there for a moment, and then next moment, totally different feeling enters. Yes. So the mind is to be established of a new quality of mind we have to create. And then we may manage the vital and allow psychic to come to the front finally. Because otherwise vital will always block this psychic emergence. And especially with those who try to do it, Sri Aurobindo says, and especially it's very severe, the resistance with sadhaks who want to do yoga. The moment you claim to do it, you will have greater resistance, greater than ordinary people. This is something also to be known, that we are all in a much more difficult situation than ordinary minds. Yes, you wanted something, Kinshuk, yes, please.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask you why the word refreshing. What is it's used two places, refreshing words.
Isham, Ish.
Okay.
Yes, Ish is an interesting word. It's actually nourishment and so on. Sri Aurobindo translates it as an impulsion. nourishment. That's why I put it a refreshing impulse. It's some kind of force. Ish is also to seek, to want. Yes, it has something with the will, impulse. But impulse which is nourishing. If we think about impulses, most probably all of them are nourishing us. Yeah? It is something which is pushing us forward, gives us energy. Yeah? And how does it give us energy? Because it's nourishing us with something. So you see, psychology of push and nourishment somewhat come together in one word.
I can understand it as utsaha or something, without which we cannot do anything.
Yeah, utsaha is more like personal. You make the effort, yes. But this one is coming from elsewhere, from the height or the depth, which it is also belonging to you eventually. Yes, it is your higher universal self, but it is not something you do. You just get it. Yeah. It comes to you as a feeder or something. And feeds you with a new perception or new enthusiasm.
Enthusiasm, yes, that's what thank you. Got it.
I have a question. Is that Ish with the S with a dot below it related also eventually to the Ish with the other sh sound?
Only one ish. Ichati we have it. Yeah, it's this root ish.
Not like Isha, the Lord.
Oh no, it is other shit there. Yes, and long
That's
e.
what I mean. Do they way back come together, or are they always separate?
They are somewhat not so close. There's sh and shu. They are
Right.
There is something between them. Of course, all the sibilants should share kind of kindred origin, but if you look into ish, so to cause to move, also eshati, yes, from here, very interesting. Preshayati, we have this. Most probably you have this with esha. To cause to move, to fly, to swing, to send out, to stream out, to pour out, to discharge. So impel, incite, animate, promote. So it is with Esha, it's more causative sense, yes, from Ish, to seek, to want. So to cause, to move, yeah, to deliver. And and Ish is Ichati, to desire and so on, strive for. And then Ish, seeking for, and Ish, interestingly, Ish word, anything drunk, anything to drink, refreshment, enjoyment, libation, the refreshing waters of the sky, sap, strength, some kind of freshness, comfort, increase. Soma, most probably also. That kind of draught or that ambrosia which you get, which actually supports the flame growing in you. Yes, that is the impulse which is feeding the flame within you. Suddenly, flame starts growing because the food came. Yeah? It allows fire to grow, and we think that this is the impulse. Yeah, we call it.
The other thing I wanted to mention is that this idea of the women singing running water reminds me of the biblical image, which is in both the Old Testament and the New Testament, where God and in the New Testament, Jesus's voice is described as the sound of many waters. It's in Ezekiel in a vision that he has about heaven, where he hears a voice that is the sound of many waters. And in Revelation, which is also a vision, the figure of Jesus speaks with the sound of many waters.
Now, when you're talking this way, I kind of started to think that these waters are the currents, the streams, the rivers. Yes, they are these ladies, Saraswati and Mahi and Ela. They are all the rivers, the running waters, with one source from the beyond. Yeah. So most probably these nadis are coming with the dawns, like the streams which connect us to the beyond, to the one source beyond. And what is interesting, in the other place with the Usha hymn, we already read it, but I was thinking they are constantly mentioned, these streams, as Devi Dvarach. I will stop. Want to see your faces because I don't see that. These they are mentioned as portals, as the goddesses Devich, and they are the rivers Nadich, and they are Narich, and they are also the Dvarach, the divine doors or the stream portals. Why portals? I was thinking, what are these portals? Doors opening to the beyond, and the streams are going through. What are these? And then I kind of realized that these doors are not really the doors. They are not like doors. They are dvaras like doors, but they are connectors. They are actually the senses or the faculties of consciousness through which these powers come. These powers cannot come beyond the faculties. They come through the faculties, and these are the doors. It comes through the sight as a vision, as a revelation. It comes through the hearing as inspiration or comprehension, understanding of what all this about. It comes through these doors. These are the doors. The faculties are the doors. I thought always imagine that there's some doors in the sky, opening like the ray of light breaking through the clouds. But it's not that. It's actually inbuilt in us, these doors. They are clogged, they are blocked. But when they are opening up, they are opening to my sight is opening to the sight beyond. Yes, hearing of my hearing, the mind of the mind, the word of the word, as Kena Upanishad puts. So there is the word above, which I have to unblock from the word below. And that is the portal. These are the portals. It makes totally sense. Well, it took me, I do not know how many years to arrive at this, that these portals are the faculties, because I always was wondering, what are these portals, rivers, divine rivers, portals? What does it mean? And then I understood that these rivers, streams, are nothing but the faculties of the highest kind. Ela, the revelation, seeing, yes. Saraswati is the word hearing, Shruti. So these are the higher faculties which we have to allow to come through these portals. And this is the whole Vedic psychology.
Vladimir, even for a person like me, just listening to this, so beautiful. The doors of perception. When suddenly you have those things opening up, the inspiration or revelation or whatever it is, it creates a kind of the delight, within. It's nourishing. You feel so full.
Yes, absolutely. It's nourishing at the same time. Amazing. Doors of perception have to be opened, the portals, yes. And there is nothing else to open for us. What else do we want to open, actually, if not the faculties? It is what we want to see, to hear, to express. Is it not so? To concentrate upon, to hold in the mind. Yes.
Now I've started thinking whether the doors open outwards or they open inwards.
Even better, yes. This is what Upanishad says also, yes. He closed the doors to the outside and opened them to the inside. He closed his eyes and looked within. He closed his ears and he listened within. So the redirection of the portals, or the faculties, so to say, opening them into the inner direction. In silence, yes. Because we have to perceive, to receive something which we cannot create. So the whole group fell into the silence, yes, forever, not coming out anymore. So any other thoughts on this beautiful hymn of Gautama Rahugana, such a name, Rahugana, of Gana of Rahu. It's not a joke. The whole
I was thinking that verse where the ladies are singing, and then the second part of it was that the men are the doers. And I think that's such a beautiful counterpoint to male and female, and the way we interact, because men are doers. I mean, we build stuff, we make stuff, and the whole world's full of stuff that we've made, and but the beauty of the singing, of the women singing, and like that's the light that brings the dawn into life. There has to be a reason for all of this doing, and I like the image of those two working together. I think it gives reason and purpose to both, and makes life beautiful.
one is a flowing and connecting through singing, all the like the female energy is holding everything in one movement, and these doers of sacrifice, the yajamanas everywhere,
Yeah,
Shakti.
great.
Yeah.
Mm.
I didn't
I
think it
always remember
in those terms. Yeah. Yes, go ahead.
we were in Pushkar, in Rajasthan in India, and it was really funny because as we were driving from Jodhpur, I think it was, out to Pushkar, which is kind of on the desert, where they have this camel festival where they bring all thousands of camels to sell. It was really funny because as we go through these little villages on the way out there, and the women are out there in the fields working, and the guys, typically, they were sitting under these porticos, and they were talking or doing whatever they were doing. But there was kind of a counterpoint, and I I'm always amazed by how active women are all around the world. They're the ones who often are out there in the heat of the day, tilling fields and planting and so on. And I have to say that it's not terribly admirable what some of the men do, sitting around drinking tea while the women are all working. Um, but when you look at it in the larger context, it's a beautiful scene of activity in the world, of things happening, of plants growing, of people being productive. And I see that as a very divine process.
Mm, mm. Yeah, women are much more. There is another example from this. There was the whole festival. 500 women came in to Gujarat, to Rajasthan. Actually, it was in Jaipur, And there was this big gathering of all women from all religions and all different sects in the world. There were Muslims, there was Hindus, Christians, everyone was there. And interestingly, for kind of 2 days, they were agreeing with everything. There was no contradiction. There was easy flow. There was no, conflict to resolve, no conflict resolution needed. And then at the end of these 2 days, they brought one Swami. This was the observation of some of the participants. They brought him on this, with all this robe and so on. And women changed. Some women started to go and do pranam. Others started to, the division started to happen. This observation is very interesting. Man brings this division, and women are actually, they can create beautiful world for us with no problems. It's a female energy, mother's energy, yes, trying to flow like flowing waters, singing together from the common source. And man with his dogmas, philosophies, what is right, what is wrong, immediately becoming a center of separation.
Yeah, I think women do what's necessary to survive. So they just do that. And where it's not an idea, it's just a function. Whereas men, they have notions about things. And that's where division starts.
Another amazing thing about Rajasthan is that the drier you go deeper into the desert, the more colorful are the dresses, especially of women. I mean, I have experienced like a total explosion of colors, especially in those cow fairs and whatever you are talking about. I mean, there are so many colors. It's something to see. It's not there in any other part of it. Just, just full of colors. Of all
Rajasthan is
kinds.
very unique, yeah. And music is beautiful also.
And music. Yes.
Mm. Wonderful, great. So we stop here for today and reconnect next time to continue with this hymn. Okay, I will close with mantra. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaha Sarve Santu Niramaya Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschit Dukha Bhag Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om.